Onward and upward to Mama Coco.
The last one seen by Skits. You'll be hearing a lot more slam after this.
Did you see Toy Story 4?
No.
Did you see Incredibles 2?
Nope.
Oh, well, I guess you will.
Yeah. I even looked on ian.wikipedia.org/wiki or whatever.
Quite. Anyway, though, Mama Coco, aka this. I gotta say, okay, this is one of the best.
I liked it. I was pleasantly surprised. It was a lot better than I thought it would be.
Yeah.
I actually sat there and watched it willingly and didn't get up.
The only
and
bad
it just
part
happened to be on, you know.
The only real bad part about this movie, in hindsight, is the fact that Disney tried to copyright Day of the Dead. They tried to copyright a holiday, kind folks. Are you asking me right now?
Yeah, I guess they did, didn't they?
They tried. They failed. Thank God. Finally, the government did something right.
There.
What?
Did they have some of that CMA going on, as a certain someone likes to say?
CMA.
Cultural fill in the blank.
Cultural
misappropriation.
Oh. I wouldn't say that's cultural appropriation. I would put that as like just Disney being greedy, honestly.
Yes.
Also some cultural misappropriation as well, but still not. I would put that as just. I would classify that as Disney being greedy and just flying a little too close to the sun there, and I do not approve of that happening. But anyway, though, onward to Coco.
Yeah. Tell us.
So
about Sinusius.
Coco is a film about Day of the Dead, which, when this film came out, a lot of people compared it to the Book of Life. Other than, I've watched both films, of course.
And I have not.
Other than the Day of the Dead, being the main factor in both films, and then going into the like afterlife type of deal and all that, they're both pretty different. They're both really different films. Other than that aspect, they're very different. Let me tell you. Okay, so I just take that out of here. Okay. Anyway, so
out of here.
So anyway, Miguel, if you will, not Coco, Miguel. He wants to be a musician, but his family does not want him to be a musician. So he tries to go and find his grandfather, who he thinks is the what?
Played la guitarra. It's a fact.
He does play the guitar, yes, but he tries to find his like Elvis. This like.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Like the Elvis of Mexico, basically. But
like I forgot what that music style is called, but yeah.
Anyway, though, he was in a bunch of movies and all that. He made a bunch of songs, and he thinks, oh hey, no one talks about my grandfather, or my great grandfather, or my great grandmother's father, if you will. So
someone
who, by the way, his great grandmother is Coco. So that's where the movie gets its name from.
Yes, that is correct.
Anyway, though, they won't talk about him, so he thinks that this person, like his grandfather, is this Elvis guy. So he goes to his tomb to try to play the guitar, I guess, try to like, I don't know, try to get his grandfather to, like, give him a I don't know, see his grandfather, because on the Day of the Dead, apparently, you can see, I guess you can see your past relatives, I guess, if you relate to them or whatever, that type of thing. The Day of the Dead, the family walks along, among the living or whatever. So he tries, he rings the guitar, but turns out, he's actually in the afterlife now, and now he's got to find his grandfather to give him a blessing to get back home, basically. And he finds his other dead relatives who
That's right.
are remembered. They do not give him a blessing, so he goes and finds this other skeleton who it keeps on getting forgotten, and whenever you're forgotten, you dissolve into the unknown, if you will. I'm gonna guess it's heaven, but it's Disney. You gotta be PC, so you can't be heaven. It's got to be some obscure thing. But anyway,
the land of the lost soul. I don't know.
Anyway, so a bunch of misadventures happen where Miguel and this other skeleton guy sings around and does all his stuff and all that, and gets the attention of the Elvis impersonator, who turns out he's not the grandfather. In fact, he didn't make the songs at all. It was actually the other skeleton guy that became Miguel's friend this whole time. And in fact, he was his grandfather all along. Dun dun dun.
Oh.
And it turns into a whole thing, and turns out that he's what? There's this. Okay, so
no idea.
I'll talk about this later, but anyway, the family starts to. Long story short, they defeat the Elvis guy, and the family embraces the actual grandfather, and Miguel finally makes it out of the afterlife in time for Coco, before she passes on, to remember her father, so that her father can be remembered and stay alive and all that. And and honestly, that is one of the best moments in any Pixar film ever. I am not even kidding you. It's that well done.
It was pretty good.
It was emotional. It gave me it gave me a lump in my throat, and I was at the point of tears. It was that well done, I gotta say.
I was not, but that is respectable.
Indeed. But anyway, then Coco passes on to the afterlife and all that, and she's remembered, and everyone is remembered and all that. Remember me, though I have to say goodbye to Remember Me. And that's basically it. So there's a thing in Disney, especially Disney animation.
Yeah.
Not Pixar necessarily, although this is one example where the villain becomes the villain's like a hidden villain, He's like, oh, I'm a nice guy, but then he turns evil at the quarter mark, and we're all like, oh, wow. That's happened in Frozen. Did not happen in Tangled. It happened in Big Hero 6. It happened a lot in many different films. This is one of those films. And I really don't like that, but I think it's done decently in this one, because you can kind of see it coming. And you can kind of see it coming, and B, it's like, oh, wait, hang on. This is actually sort of a rug pull, that type of thing. I have to deduct points because of that, but because of I have to deduct points based on, the principle of the thing, but dare I say it, it's still a fabulous film. Son, what's your thoughts on Coco?
I mean, the biggest thing for me was, the guitarist tie-in, of course. Something I liked.
Also, apparently, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know for sure, but apparently those are actual chords that Miguel and everyone playing the guitar.
Correctly?
Yeah, they animated it correctly. Yeah, apparently that's what I've heard from guitarist YouTubers and all that. That it was actually animated correctly.
Look at that. I'll have to look and see about that.
It's not just animated. It's animated like actual notes and all that, which I gotta say, if that's real, nice touch.
Yep. If that is true, which I will confirm in the near future, I suppose, then yeah, that's good. Very good, even. Might even get a point on the rating for me, just for that. Tell you what.
Indeed. Sorry, I was drinking some water, but anyway.
It's
okay. Meowers came up to say hi, too, because he likes Coco as well. Anyway. I gotta say, the animation, once again, ladies and gentlemen, simply breathtaking. They did humans the way you should do humans in this cartoony way. They're not supposed to be, like, realistic. They're a little bit more exaggerated. They look like they could translate well to a 2D platform, which is what The Incredibles did. It's what Ratatouille did. Brad Bird tended to do. And I'd say that this tends to work with Coco as well. Like most of the human characters and skeletons and all that, they would work in a 2D like coloring book or something like that,
And they probably were in a 2D coloring book.
Oh, I bet you $1 billion that they were. Also, the imagination within this story. Creme
de la creme, other film critic generic phrases, chef's kiss.
Yeah,
all that.
I didn't know a single thing about Day of the Dead until I saw this film, and supposedly it's all based on actual folklore, so that's pretty decent.
I think it was.
And
at least from what I remember learning in Spanish classes over the years.
Indeed.
With Iglesias, yes, my beloved Spanish teacher that you did not get, unfortunately.
Yeah, that's why I suck at Espanol, because all my Spanish teachers sucked.
Yeah, I remember a particular Christopher of sorts.
We're not talking about that, but anyway.
Yeah,
Coco.
Yeah, no, we're not.
Coco is simply brilliant, and
it's a good one. I liked it.
Although it's made by directed by the same director as Toy Story 3, which some people would take issue with. I don't necessarily care, though, because hey, if you're gonna make a good film that respects the race that you're interpreting or whatever, and you're not that race, hey, go ahead and do it. Okay, I don't really care about that.
Yeah.
But anyway, though.
Sure.
Oh, Meowers got scared at when I said that. I apologize, Meowers. Anyway. Anyway, though, enough with that. Fantastic story. This is, I'll tell you, okay?
Tell us what?
This story, this is like...
Chef's makeout session?
Yeah, basically. This is like the
Wow.
best story to have come out of Pixar since Toy Story 3. Ironically,
Okay.
same director as Toy Story 3. But anyway, even with Inside Out, Inside Out, very decent, decent story, but I gotta give props to Coco. It's funny and heartfelt, and at the same time, and it kept my attention throughout. Simply beautiful. Simply beautiful. And I'm giving it a 9 out of 10.
I'm gonna give it an 8, like Cars 3.
Quite.
It was pretty good. Not like the most amazing thing I've ever seen, though, but yeah, it was pretty good.
Oh yes. Oh yes.